and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because I am going to be jumping into a palette that I know is overly saturated right now on YouTube. Overly saturated. Everybody's seen the swatches, everybody's seen looks, everybody's talked about it. But I did get this late, unfortunately. This is the Tati Beauty palette. Look at her in all of her gorgeous glory. Stunning. I got this late. I had reached out. If some of you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, you can follow me right here. I let you guys know on Instagram, I had to actually, I didn't exactly reach out to her customer service, but on one of Tati Beauty's posts about the palette, I replied back, man, I really hope mine comes soon. It's been like 2 weeks. And then her customer service reached out to me in my private DMs and was like, hey girl, let us know what your order number is. Let us see if we can help you with this, which I thought, give me good customer service all day long and I will be patient. If you let me know what's going on, I'm not gonna be like overly dramatic about it, even though I wish I would have had it sooner to put up a video. And spoiler alert, I found out last night on Black Friday, Tati herself released on Twitter that her second palette or her second product is going to be coming out on Black Friday. That is this month, and if those of you don't know, because you're newer to my channel, November is my birthday month. Not sorry, we're gonna have to see what that is, but I am so excited to play with this palette. I've not touched it yet. I wanted to really like do a bunch of different looks before I got on camera just to like have a better idea, but I also felt like I'd be gypping you guys of me actually touching the products behind the scenes and letting you know what I think of them. So I'm gonna do my best today to give you as an in-depth video as I can and kind of do a throwback. I think a lot of you guys know, okay, so when I'm gonna do this next step, I've already done this before, so there's no YouTube shade here, and I don't want it to be misconstrued as that, but I am going to compare the Tati Beauty palette to a lot of other things in my collection, because I asked you guys on Instagram in the questions, what do you guys want to know about this? And you wanted to know also how it compared to other things. So I have a whole bunch of other palettes here that I am going to be swatching next to, comparing, letting you know what I think, and answering some of the questions you guys asked me on Instagram. So again, if you are not following me on Instagram, that is where you're going to find out a lot of the behind the scenes footage and know what I'm going to address probably in an upcoming video. Follow me there. It's free and easy. So I could not help but open this baby up and already take some vanity like footage of this because it really is beautiful. I keep hearing over and over again people saying pictures and video don't do it justice. These are crazy stunning. They're really beautiful. A lot of you were curious about the sequin row when you were messaging me, so I'm gonna get into those today on camera for the first time. I have not touched this. This is a virgin palette. Let's be gentle. So we've got the mattes, the sequins, the metallics, and the glitters. Like the tones, we have the memory, the ritual, story, soothe, aura, and poet. I'm sure a lot of you already know all about the swatches, all about some of this if you have already looked on other videos. But so many of you were like, please still do this video. I know it came late for you, but please do it. So I will. Again, funny story, little side note, I was really debating on launch day to get this, and I did end up getting it on launch day, but it was because Adam was like, get it. You know you want to. And a question I did get when people were asking me about this palette is, why did I get it? Because it looks very basic to a lot of people. And my response to that really is kind of what I said in my video of the purchase or pass video on the Shane Dawson palette and the Tati palette and other things that were being new released for the holidays. I was really gravitating to this because of the layout, the different textures. This reminded me of, was it NYX that did a palette like 2 years ago in a bunch of different shades that had the same tone or the same color story, but different textures to it? It kind of reminded me of this when she was launching this, and I always was curious about that NYX palette. So that was kind of where my thought process initially went, but honestly, I am reaching for so many neutral colors in eye looks lately as I'm going through this year, but this isn't just a neutral palette, especially when you see it in person. You can see this purple slash maroonish row here has so many variances of purple tones, pinky tones, reddish tones. The orange, one of you even jumped out and you were like, I'll bet you bought it just for the orange row. You're not totally wrong. You are definitely a longtime follower of mine if you know I love an orange shadow. And if you don't know if I love an orange shadow, hit that subscribe button, click the bell so that way you know what I am loving behind the scenes before I even get into stuff like this when they're new releases, because those are really where I'm gonna be tough. I'm gonna be a little tougher on the things that I already know I love and can do with an eye look. So I'm so excited for this. Like, it looks beautiful, it looks stunning. You've seen a million videos on it, so let's jump into a Nichole style video, which I always try to be a little different.
Oh, getting hot. Is it a hot flash? Is it the vapors? Who knows? I'm just excited.
I only had one, not even a full cup of coffee yet, so don't judge me. The coffee's not getting me all hyped up, it's the palette. Oh my gosh. I don't know how long this video is going to be because I am going to do a first trial on camera with you guys and going to be swatching and going next to some other things that a lot of us love. And I'm not comparing YouTuber to YouTuber. This isn't a personal thing. This is just about the makeup. I don't do drama. I don't have time for that. I just feel like, should I swatch first? Should I just do eye look first? I feel like so many people have done swatches. I think I'm going to do an eye look first, and then I'm going to get into swatches because I'm going to be comparing and contrasting, and I don't want to do too many swatches and then be stained. So I think I'll do eye look first, then swatches. Roll with me on this. I'll try to remember to do timestamps in case you just want to jump to other sections. So since I'm not going to be able to do a million different looks today, and I know one of the requests was to do as many looks as you can with different stories, stay tuned because in an upcoming video, I will be doing a little bit more like pieces here and there to show you like complete eye looks that I have done, maybe like in a faves and fails or something. So again, be subscribed, hit the bell. This isn't going to be like the only video that I touch this palette on. I'm sure of it because I'm so excited to see all the looks I can get from this. And I know you guys want to know too, but I got one face and a limited amount of time. So let's get going. I'm going to go into Soothe and just kind of pat in, and she did tell us ahead of time that you will see some powder, some kick up, so you will see stuff in the pan. She told us that ahead of time. That doesn't really bother me because even some of my favorite palettes have that, so as long as it still doesn't skip, looks great on the eyes. All right, with this fluffy brush, I'm already seeing pigmentation. You saw me blow on it a little bit. I like when I can see pigment right away, and yes, I did prime my eyes today with concealer and a little bit of powder. So I have set my eyes the way I normally would to start any eye look. Jumping back into Soothe to do the other side. This is not skipping so far. It is blending really well. I like this as a base neutral transition shade because I do start a lot of my eye looks, even if I go over the top of it with something bold and you never see this look again. I like to start an eye look with this. It's like the beginning of a canvas because it can richen up other shades, or it can help an eye look just seem more natural depending on what you're doing. For my eye shape, I do like to deepen the outer corners a bit because of the way my eye is shaped. It kind of is more complementary to my eye look, so I'm going to do that with a little extra on the edges. So far, nothing is skipping. Everything is blending really beautifully, and this is just with a fair brush. This isn't a crazy expensive brush at all. It doesn't even really require a lot of blending. I'm actually trying some other palettes behind the scenes that require a weird amount of blending. This is like super easy. Something else I really appreciated about Tati's video, and I don't know if a lot of you saw her whole video or listened to her whole video when she was talking about this palette. This palette is also designed with certain ingredients for mature eyes, for people that have the wrinkles, because I know a lot of people were concerned about the glitters and the sequin row and the metallic row because they're like, I have more mature lids, or I've just always had wrinkles on my lids. She said and claimed that this has got like a special formula to help you still use all of these shades with mature or liney or wrinkly eyelids. So I'm game. Let's find out. I think I'm going to go in with just another fair brush. This is a large shading brush. And screw it. I already said I was going to be hard on the oranges, so I may as well put on some orange. I think some of you would be disappointed. Some of you are going to say I always do orange. I'll do other stuff, I promise, but I want to know. So I'm going to go into the matte shade for Story, which is more of an orange tone, which you guys know I love a good orange tone. And this does not look disappointing at all. All right, going to go just mostly on the outer corner here. Build. Oh my gosh, this is blending on top of itself really well. I don't want to go ham on the orange, but I say that and I'm sure I'll look like a pumpkin by the end, but that was so freaking easy. That was easy. Wasn't that a commercial where you hit a button? Was it for Staples? I actually had that button at an old office when I was like 24, 25. Yeah, this is blending so well on top of itself. Okay, I'm not gonna be like super like complimentary either, just because it's Tati, and you guys know I watch like a lot of her videos. I don't watch all of them all the time, but I do watch a lot. I'm just really expecting a high quality from her formula, and I said that in my Purchase or Pass video. I'm trying a new technique with filming where I have another camera over here, so bear with me today. All right, we've got to jump into the sequin row, and I'm pretty sure she said a pressing motion works better for the sequin row if you're wanting to see some sparkle. Otherwise, that sequin row will just look more like mattes because the shimmer part will fall away. Soothe color is looking kind of golden in person. It's got like these golden flecks in it. I think I might want to put this on my finger. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a brown tone to it, but also a gold tone. And you can see this shimmer. I'm just going to press this onto my lid and see what happens. You do see the shimmer. This is just one finger swatch. I didn't go back in. I'm going to zoom you in to see. You can see like some shimmer there. It's not overpowering. It's not a metallic. To prove Tati's theory right, I'm going to use the other eye with a brush and see how it buffs and see if we see any sparkles. I really don't even know how this looks going to end up, but you know, it may not look the most pretty, but I'm just mostly trying shadows. Ooh, that packed a lot of pigment on this brush. Like there is a lot. Just gonna do a little patting. Ooh, I still see sparkles. I think it's like if you buff, maybe you don't see sparkles, but I'm like patting, doing a patting motion with the Moda Pro brush. Okay, both of my cameras are giving me sass. This one ran out of memory. The one over here I was using for B-roll to see the palette, that battery died. So bear with me. I'm trying to get through all these cool new ideas that I'm having and execute them and still live in a tiny house, do a day job, do all the things I want to do. So bear with me. Right now we're just going to do this, me and you. Yeah, the more you pat, the less sparkle you see. I'm going to zoom you in over here. So this one I can see less sparkle in person, and this one I can see more sparkle in person, so a pressing motion. Even though this bouncing motion I still see some, this sees more with the finger pressing motion. And I do use my fingers a lot for palettes. I'm going to deepen that outer edge. You know what? I have to go into this black because everyone is talking about how good this black is. So I might use it as a liner in a little bit, but I'm curious about using it on my outer corners. Now, I'm going to say before I even get into that, I don't generally do that look on the daily because it's kind of a smoky look. I don't consider myself a smoky girl. I don't know if it always looks good on me, but I'm really curious about this black shade that everyone is talking about, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just be bold. See here, I'm gonna go into this 3 mini tapered blending from the Farrah brush collection. Can I just say right now off the bat, I am impressed that I am not having crazy amounts of black fallout right here. As soon as I touch a brush usually like that, it will give me some fallout. I do not have fallout at all right now. And this is spreading and making this black really easy. I'm really impressed. As a girl who doesn't use black shadow and is specifically using black shadow, and you guys asked me to do it in those questions, I can't, wow. Impressed, totally impressed, not gonna lie. The blend on it's really nice. You can still see the color coming through it, which is what I would want because I don't generally go that dark. So, ooh, getting the vapors. Let's go into a metallic because we haven't done that yet, and I'm definitely gonna use my phalanges for that. I'm gonna put the metallic Story on my finger. Kind of blend it in with the black. These are feeling really soft, first of all. The metallics don't feel rough, and a lot of metallics that I have used feel rough on the finger, and that's generally how I do apply my metallics, or with a wet brush. Actually, I probably should have done a wet brush on the other eye just to compare. I am starting to get some fallout now because I had too much on my phalanges. I will say, a lot of people have said about the metallics that they don't feel like it's a metallic they're used to. It's not the kind of metallic that you think of with so many other palettes, and I am seeing that on this look because this looks more like a reflective, chunky might be the wrong word, but it's the only word I can think of right now, like version of that versus a seamless metallic, at least when I used the fingers. But now I gotta try a wet brush. I have to. Gonna go into Ritual in the metallic. So it's a more brown neutral tone, and I'm gonna go on the inside here. I like this color a lot. I could see a lot of women reaching for this Ritual shade for an all over lid look. Oh, that looks really good. That looks more similar to the metallic look I'm more familiar with as far as an actual texture goes. I think that looks pretty good. So I was going to say I was worried it was starting to crease when I was putting on layer on top of layer because I wanted to try as much as I can, but it's really not. It's just the way that my eye is shaped and how, like, when I open and close my eye, how I'm seeing the folds of my eye go in, but the fold of my eye is not creating a crease because when I close my eyes, it still looks really seamless. I kind of want to go over here into Poet now too because it kind of matches the cranberry color of my shirt. And then I can kind of make this look a little less harsh with the dark color because I wanted to do nighttime smoky at, like, I don't know, what time is it? 8 in the morning. Into Poet in the matte shade. Kind of pop it on this Sphero brush. Just kind of layer this on top of the darker color. Ooh, this is becoming across more like cranberry purple. I'm gonna look like I have a black eye before this is over. Whatever. It's just because I want to try so much. That's actually layering really nice on that. Oh, that looks pretty. And it richens up. It makes this look more of like a plummy purple versus what is looking like a swatched cranberry. Like, it's making it look, if you put it on top of black, more plum.
That's how colors work, Nichole. Mixing colors creates new colors.
But it's not muddying at all. Like, I was worried putting too much on top of too much on top of too much because of the too much Gina would make it look like compromise the way that the shadows behave, even if it isn't the prettiest look ever. But it's really not compromising it. I gotta go over here into Aura because I feel like I need to do something to lighten up and blend up here. Jump here into just the matte Aura shade and kind of like start up here. See if we can blend some harshness. We know where we have to go from here, right? We know we have to go into the glitters. I'm currently over here making a decision of, after I put on some glitters and kind of do a look without lashes, do I want to wash it all off and then do more of a neutral look so you guys can see how this is a neutral palette, even though I'm picking colors to show you it's really not totally neutral. It's just kind of like her basics palette. I can say, as of this moment, before I put on the glitters, I do think the metallic isn't like a metallic that you're probably used to. It doesn't have that finish, that chromy look that most metallics do. It doesn't look bad at all, but that's my one notice from what I'm accustomed to. Doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it wrong, just makes it her formula, her style. And that might actually be more complimentary on more mature lids because then there's less likely to be creasing through the day. I'm thinking for the glitters, I'm gonna do it two different ways. One with glitter glue, one not with glitter glue, so we can see the difference. And I have no idea what these suckers look like out of the pan, so I feel like maybe I should do some Tati style swatches on the Tati palette. You know, she does it on her arm like a freaking tiger makeup stripe. I'm thinking about that. Let's see. A little bit more arm action here. Here with the Memory shade in glitter. So this is the dark black, the black row. So let's see. This is the first time I'm ever touching them. It really does clean off your finger. She did say that that was something that most glitters want to stay on your finger. This one does look really nice and it just like pulls through, really consistent. Oh, that's pretty smoky sexy for the holidays. We go over here into Ritual, which is the brown shade. Wow. This formula is very different, and this is really why I was so curious about this palette. It does pull a lot of the product off. There is still some residual, there's gonna be, but I've definitely had way worse. I'm gonna come over here into Story, which is more that orange row. Okay. I'm gonna do a second dip in here. This is the first one I'm going back in for a second dip because it didn't pull as well as the others. At least could have been me, could have been user error. But oof. How you doing? This shoulder has a superpower right now. That's a color I'd reach for a lot. I'm just disappointed that it seems like it's a little bit more spaced out than the others. Now I'm gonna come over here into the Soothe shade, which is more of that nude golden shade. Ooh yeah. I'm gonna jump back in here again. Ooh. Oof. The Aura color that I'm looking at here in the pan looks like it has a lot of different flecks in it. So I'm crazy excited. Like, I'm even seeing some greens in this lighter tone here. Oh my gosh. It is, so I'm gonna add one more layer because it is a lighter color. Wow, I see so many reflecting colors in that. Like that would be great for a lot of different looks. And I'm gonna jump over here into Poet, that purple shade at the very end. Okay, that goes with more with my outfit. Oof. Oh my gosh. I'm blinded by the light. So now we're gonna do glitter glue on one eye and not glitter glue on the other and just kind of see. The glitter glue that I'm gonna be using is just the NYX glitter glue. I have used this for all the glitters in my collection and it's always done a really good job. I'll do glitter glue on my right eye, which is gonna be Left for You, this one here. I think I wanna do the story color right here. Oh, wow. Pressing with my finger only. Initial impressions is that it's kind of chunky, but not like crazy bad chunky at all. Does this look the same? Am I crazy? Does this look the same, one with glitter glue, one without glitter glue? I don't know, maybe in editing when I can actually review the footage totally with my eyes closed, because I can't see my eyes with my eyes closed. That is a struggle. This one has more fallout I can see under here than this eye. I don't see like fallout. I do see a little bit of fallout right there. I'm kind of shocked. I really wasn't thinking it was gonna be so similar. If you guys have watched some of my older videos where I've tried glitter glues on one eye and whatnot on the other, there's always some sort of major difference to notice. And there's no major crazy difference. Looking for more things to be a little bit critical on. Like I said, the glitter seems like a little bit chunky. The metallic isn't exactly what you think of a metallic, but like I really like the color here. Like this is a great color for like a nighttime look or a holiday look, a going out look. But now I kind of want to do a neutral look. Hold. And we're back. I have now taken all that eye look off and then I put on some more concealer and powder so the exact same base is on my eyes, and I'm gonna go into this a little differently. What I'm gonna do is kind of go into aura more. I'm gonna try to do more of a neutral look so that way you guys could see a little bit more of what that natural volume would be. Ritual for that outer corner. The mattes specifically do a great job blending. This looks very neutral, very easy. Like I could see you getting, like going into just a few of these shades, getting a look and being out the door in the morning with no problem. I'm going to take the Aura sequin row here and use my finger and buff this all over my eye. Really pretty lid base. So you can build on it, you can leave that there, you could do a cut crease with that color. That's a beautiful color. And with the finger, again, you see that light reflecting. I'm seeing some like pinkish purplish reflections that just like deliciously like dance in my ring light right now. I'm just gonna take this brush that I had earlier with, I'm not adding anything to it, and just kind of blending up in the crease. You know, blending is everything when it comes to an eye look. I've not gone into the Soothe Metallic yet, so I'm going to jump right up here. I think that aura shade underneath it is really making this color pop too. Like that looks really pretty. I am gonna do a wet brush though. Soothe. Interesting, you can get a similar but different texture from finger versus a wet brush with the metallic shades, I think. Okay, after some blending, this is a very nice natural eye look. Not too zhuzhy, very, very neutral. So I think this is kind of what people were thinking when she said like a neutrals palette. They were like, oh, this could get boring. And I could see how that would. But even with the metallics on there, it looks very, not basic, but you know, very natural. If I pop some sequin on top of these metallics on my lids, I'm curious what that would look like. So I'm gonna jump into the Aura sequin shade. Ooh. I have the too much gene sometimes. Take a little blending brush and just kind of fluff it a little bit. This still looks really nice. You could do mascara and just kind of be done with it. But I am going to do a little bit more glitter, but I want to choose a different color. What I am noticing about these little babies is that the one that seems a little bit more like not about the glitter, but it will give you some pop, is the Aura highlight. I feel like that one is really pretty, but it's not as pow in your face as some of these other ones are. So I'm wondering if with this neutral look, that would be the best one to go with. So why not? Keeping a fluffy brush next to me just to wipe away any fallout. Okay, these glitters are definitely, this particular glitter is less covering on a lid than the other ones are. I feel like the other ones on my arm and on my lid actually like gave some color, whereas this one's just like a topper in a way. So let me clean this up, put on some lashes, and then let's get to the next part of this video. Okay, now I have some natural light coming into the room. I have on just mascara because I realized, I was thinking about it, I'm like, I'm not gonna do fake lashes because this is a natural look, and more than likely, most of you that are going to be dipping into this Volume 1 palette are not going to be putting on lashes with a neutral look on your morning times going to work. Some of you might, totally cool, you can imagine it being vamped up. But right now, I just kind of wanted to come on here. This one is looking a little bit like bolder than this one. I'm not sure why, at least that's what it looks like in my viewfinder. But I kind of want to jump into these glitters right now and compare and contrast to other things in my collection. I'm going to start with the Soothe glitter, which is more neutral, and compare it to some goodies. Next, I'm going to go into my Pure palette that I got from BoxyCharm. This is a gold glitter here. Now these are chunkier, but they still feel really good, and they really do a good job. So I'm curious how those look next to each other. Ooh, so I definitely need more. I got really spoiled with Tati's glitters, and I wasn't thinking that I'd need to add and spread more. Okay, so the spread is very difficult with this compared to Tati's for sure. I mean, obviously we're looking at a little bit of more of a gold tone here than here too, but if you layer up the Pure one, it starts to look similar. Now I'm going to jump into the El Malcone shade here in our Alamar palette. This is the Volume 1. This isn't really a glitter, but it's such a beautiful pressed pigment that it's got these great textures to it. I guess this will be more metallic, but I'm doing it anyway. Definitely more metallic, but dang. Now I'm going to jump into the Thirsty palette, and I'm going to go over here to Filthy Rich, which is a glitter. This one is a finer glitter though. It's not nearly as chunky or thick. The blendability on this is really nice, and this actually feels like it has some metallic underneath it, so it's not just total glitter. So this is a different formula totally than we're comparing to anything else, just like the Tati one. Just for a little comparison, I'm going to jump into the Villains palette over here with ColourPop. I'm going to go into Pain and Panic. Because this has some glitters in it, but it's definitely still got that metallic undertone. This kind of shows you here all the different varieties, like just that I was able to just quickly pull out of my collection. I'm going to remove the El Malcone shade that's here in the center in my mind because that's just a little bit more of a metallic than a shimmer, but I was curious how they looked next together. I would wear all of these. I love them all. The Pure palette was definitely needing more and a bit patchier, not as easy to pull as the Tati palette, and same with the Thirsty palette. That did a really good job too. They were both really easy to blend, and I've always had a really good time just pressing them on my eyes. It was kind of similar, but I would not say the formulas are the same at all. Just comparing the Jeffree palette to the Tati palette. This is Soothe from Tati. I'm going to come back over here into Filthy Rich from the Thirsty palette. They both spread on really easily, but I will say Tati's has way more more sparkle, more this is glitter. This has glitter flecks, it seems, with great pigment behind it, but this is just really nice glitter. Really nice. Let's compare really quickly from Tati's metallic row. Let's compare this El Malcone shade in her metallic with the Soothe, because I am curious. Oh, they look really similar as far as the texture goes, not the color. There is more pearlized colors here in the El Malcone shade from Alamar, but this is Tati Beauty's metallic in Soothe, and they have very similar properties. Jumping over here into the Jaclyn Hill palette, I think this is the shade Queen here. This is a metallic shade. I have to put it kind of farther away. Yeah, very similar. Ooh, because that's such a really nice metallic too, just with the finger swatch, nothing's on the arm. Definitely similar. I want to put those right by side. This is Soothe right next to the Jaclyn Hill Queenie shade here. Those are crazy similar. Not totally in tone, but the pull looks great. The pigmentation looks great. Tati's metallic is a lot like the Jaclyn Hill one for sure, as far as that beautiful pull, great swatch, consistent, buttery. Let's pull into the Natasha Denona palette for a metallic. Let's go over here into Day Spring. Here's Natasha. Whoo, yes! Those are comparable as far as formula goes. Let's compare some of the mattes. This is going to be the Soothe from Tati. This is the matte Soothe from Tati here. It's a beautiful, I'm only doing that like once. There we go. Beautiful swatch here from Tati. Next, I'm going to go into Kumquat from the Thirsty palette, and he has really good mattes too. I don't know if I got the same amount on my finger, to be honest. So I will go back over here. Not as pigmented as Tati's, I don't think, but it's got a beautiful blend and a beautiful spread. I could keep blending hers out too. I just didn't spend as much time on it, but really nice. Now I'm going to come over into the Morgan shade in Natasha Denona. Matte shade. It's got beautiful pull, great pigmentation. These all kind of feel a little different though. They feel a little different. They all feel really nice. They're all very blendable, but they are a different formula. Jeffree's tends to have a lot more buff, but I did have to layer his a bit more to get some pigment. Same with Natasha, but hers up here looks, it's holding its own for sure. I'm gonna jump just for funsies over here into Cocoa Taxi from, why am I putting it on this finger? Wrong finger. Let's jump into Cocoa Taxi over here from the Alamar palette. This one's a lot, it blends really well, but it definitely needs a lot more layering than the others. No judgment at all on any of these. I'm not saying they're dupes or anything. I was just curious how they all looked and swatched and felt when I was doing this. And I will say the Tati one feels really great, really buttery. I think the Jeffree Thirsty one swatches really great as well. I needed to pull a little bit more from Morgan, but that could have been a color tone thing, not a matte situation. The formulas are all really great on these. I mean, stellar. Let's just jump up here in the Jaclyn Hill palette into another one of these nude mattes. Yeah, great pull, great formula, great. I mean, you could fluff all of these all over. You could be more precise with them. I think these top three are my favorites that I'm feeling out of the mattes though. They're feeling really nice and they went on really smooth. I didn't have to think too much about it and it felt buttery going on with these top three for sure. For the sequin row, I think, I don't know what to compare that to because it's kind of its own jam in a way. So I don't know if it's really fair to compare the sequins to anything, but as far as like the glitters, the metallics, and now these mattes, I really am impressed with how this has gone. Guys, this is like video conversation number one with this Tati Beauty palette because there's so much more I want to delve into with this. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, hit the bell for like more updates, maybe in a faves and fails or something, or as I'm comparing more things. But the mattes, these matte formulas are really good. Definitely comparable to the Natasha Denona, definitely comparable to the Thirsty palette. And I've heard the Thirsty palette is a different formula than a lot of other Jeffree Star shadows, so I can't compare anything else yet. But way impressed with this. Also, I mean, the glitters, those glitters, she's got a great formula for glitter. I mean, the best on this row because not all of these are the same type of glitter that she has going here. This is stunning. And these metallics up here, oh, I do feel like her metallics are a different formula on the lid. They kind of aren't as metal feeling as some of these other ones maybe, but it's still really beautiful. And on a swatch, not the same as the eye, but a swatch, still really great. I'm crazy happy with this palette. I actually have some more new palettes coming in, so stay tuned guys. There's more comparisons and more fun things to come. I'll do some more eye looks with this upcoming in maybe an intro soon or something, but definitely stay tuned for more info on this because this is my first day playing with it and I am not disappointed or sad about it. And stay tuned to see what else she's going to be dropping because I've heard she's dropping even more soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you happen to be new to my crazy little channel, hi new friends, look at these swatches. I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all the fun, loud, weird, long-winded, unique videos I do every single week. Bye friends.